Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so we still see that there are few issues which we come across, and sometimes we see that there is lag in some features and all. So, why do you think so? There are a lot of process involved in developing a software and delivering it to the customers, but still, why do you think there are bugs in the software which come to the clients? What are what are the uh, basic or common features do you think that creates bug even after going through so many processes? Any thoughts why still we face bugs?
Miscommunication or no communication, man.
Yes, exactly. And we have so many things like that. Okay, so many points like that. Why still we see bugs? So these are those, like as you said, miscommunication, and or we also don't have any communication, and unrealistic time schedule, lack in design experience, lack in coding experience, lack of version control, third party tools, last minute change in requirements, and poor software testing skill. So these are very few points which I have put in, but there are we still have many causes which like gives bugs even in software. So I'll go one by one. Okay, so what do you think a miscommunication or no communication must be? So I'll give a very simple example. Okay,
Misunderstood the
yeah, sorry.
misunderstood the client requirements.
Yes, actually, so this is a very basic example which they give for miscommunication on if you Google out itself, you'll be able to see. You'll see this is a tree story. Okay, so this is a very big picture. I have just pulled out very few pictures of this. So if you see here on the what the customer really wanted is a very simple tire swing on a tree, but when the client is describing it to a project or a concern that what the requirement is, he gives in a budget and he gives in how the design should be, and what are all the things it comes to his mind, he explains in his own way to the what I say to the concern, and this is how it gets described. So next, what is like if we do not have any proper documentation or proper recordings of what the customer or the client is explaining about the project, what happens is the designer obviously he perceives it's in his own way, and what happens is finally he gives a design in this way which is totally different from what the client has described him. And finally, if this communication from this person doesn't go well to the what to say developer, the the what to say the software will be developed in a totally different way and will be delivered to the customer. So this is obviously going to be a complete failure of what is of the software. So this is a major factor of again of creation of like bugs coming into the application. So miscommunication or no communication of what the process or what the project is about. So this is the first point. Now going to the second point. Now it is unrealistic time schedule. It is like so nowadays people want things to be done very quickly, and they have a lot of competitors for them. So they want their product to be delivered before their competitor does. So what they do is they pull in less resource and they give less time, and they ask them to like develop it fast and test it fast and deliver it fast. So this is also, so what happens is on this pressure, development might miss some features, and the testers might also, there are chances, as all are human beings, right? So there are chances that they might also miss few features being tested, and obviously after the release, what happens is there will be a very drastic delivery of the software or the product with many issues in it. So this is also a feature where unrealistic time schedule. So if I give you a minute and ask you to do a very big task, and you will not be able to do it, so it is the point which applies also to the software. So next one comes is lack in design experience. Say I have a designer and who is not having a very good knowledge of the designing technologies, and he implements whatever he has he has knowledge about, and he delivers it in his own way. So in this scenario, what actually happens is, obviously the design will, there will be lot of what to say funky designs and all lot of things which cannot be accepted by a customer or the client. So in this case also, there might be bugs on the software while using. So the next one, lack in coding experience. As I said, when it comes to coding experience, you should have people who are very knowledgeable about it, and who should be able to handle things not only in development, should also be able to support the client in the maintenance phase. So if someone is lacking coding experience in the concern or in the project, obviously he's not going to deliver something in a expected way, and obviously it's going to be a great failure, and obviously we'll be also having many bugs in our production, I mean the real time software. So coming to the next is version control, lack of version control. Version control is a very important concept. Okay, it is like whatever you document, maybe your as a developer my coding, or as a manual tester my test cases and bugs and my test regression suits, or as an automation engineer or automation test engineer my automation testing scripts and my regression test scripts, everything should have a version, and it should be it should be controlled. See, today I develop a test case for testing, and there are some requirement changes, and I what I do is I update my test cases accordingly. Okay, I have a version 1 and version 2 of my test case. Now you say I have a new requirement which says, no, I don't want the changes in 2, I want the changes in 1. So what happens is, you should not go across and keep searching for which version where I have put the changes and all. So you should always have a track of all the documents in your project in a version control. We have different version control tools for that. So maybe I'll share those details also in future. So this is also a very important thing when it comes to a software. So going next, third party tool. So third party tool is nothing but, see, developer, he to write a code and to develop a software, what happens is he uses a lot of things which are being developed by other users. Say they use compilers or debuggers, HTML editors, plugins, external APIs, library classes. So these things and all, what they do is to make their work simpler. So these plugins will be very helpful. So if I want to write a set of code which is having a line of 100, and the plugin, I just need a plugin which can replace my code, so obviously we'll go and use that, right? So in that case, we should assure that the plugin doesn't affect the quality of my code. So if the developer misses such things, what happens is, obviously there will be a bug which can be left unidentified even by the testers, and obviously it will be like uh, caught by the users in the go live. So coming to the next one, change in requirements. Obviously, see, there everything changes nowadays because people want things to be in a different way every time, and they want everything to be updated often. So what happens is, updating or changing the requirement and updating our product or software according to it is not a big deal. But you say, I have uh, I'm ready for to deliver the product, and I have completed 90% of my what to say, development and also the testing phase. And now now the client or the customer comes with the new changes, which is going to like scrap out 50% of my software design and coding, and I'm going to replace it. So this is obviously going to be like a big headache for everyone. And what will happen is, if the change in the requirement is not done with a very good concentration or with very full effort, obviously there will be an issue in the production for the software. Okay. So next is, as we always see, that poor software testing is also an issue. Say I test an application and I see a very minor issue, which I feel that okay, this is fine, this is not going to be a big deal, and if I just miss it, so obviously it can be a bigger issue from a client perspective. So it is the duty of every tester or a quality engineer to log every bug, no matter how small or how big it is. So these factors actually define uh, how the how the bugs are being sent to production, even after going through so many phases of software cycles. So anyone, do you have any questions over here?
I have a doubt in third-party tool.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, please tell me, explain one more time. So,
Okay, third party tool is nothing but, see, developers usually use compilers or debuggers, or there are lots and lots of these things which I have listed, right? There are lots and lots of things online which helps out the developer to make their life easier. Okay, so now I have a calendar. So in case I have a calendar on my application, for which I need to which in my requirement, sorry, in my requirement, which I need to place it on an on the software. So in this case, and you imagine the developer needs to write a set of like a line of 1,000 lines of code to develop a calendar. This is just an example, a calendar. And he has an option where he can Google out, and he has a plugin over there. He can just pull in the plugin, and a single line of code will create a calendar on the application. So which one do you think, the as the human we will go and opt in?
okay, so the developer use third-party tool to
Yeah, so this
develop
plugin,
a calendar.
yeah, see, this plugin which they use, right, that will be developed by some other person. Okay, that plugin
Okay,
will
okay,
obviously it will be having 1,000 line of code or 2,000 line of code in there too. I need not go and rewrite it again, I can just use it. So in this case, there are chances the person who has developed the calendar plugin can have errors in his code, right, which can be missed, or few features of what is in our requirements for the calendar will not be handled in his plugin. But this developer, without thinking about those factors, he just uses the plugin in his code. And what happens is, when it comes to the real time, and when user tries to search for a month or for a year, what happens is it doesn't come out as he expected. So obviously at the real time it is a failure for the application, right? It will go unnoticed. So this is what, like, a third party tool can introduce errors or bugs into your software without your knowledge, if used by us. This is what I wanted to like clarify.
yeah, okay, thank you.
Got it, right? So anyone else? So we'll just like make it more interactive. Okay, I just want any example or someone to open up, like to give example of any for each of our topics which we discussed here. So these are like, I just want, I'm trying to keep it interactive, because like these are going to be your interview questions when you go out to search for a job for a manual tester. Even though you're going to have your knowledge on automation, manual is a very basic, okay? Because in my career, I have in my 14 years of experience, 14 years I have been in manual, and in that 7 years I was into automation, but still manual was always given an importance. So it is like nothing can be without manual we can't do automation. A system has to go through at least a round of manual testing, so to assure that there are no many small cranky bugs to stop our automation scripts. So that is the reason I keep insisting and keep questioning you people to what to say, to understand the concepts of manual testing even more in detail. Okay, fine. Now you people can just open up and be friendly. You can just any example which comes to your mind for each of the what to say scenarios. Say now I ask for miscommunication or no communication. Any example from you? Anybody? It can be anything. You can just talk out. This is just going to be a discussion. Okay, nobody is going to point out that you are wrong or right or anything. We are just going to be having a friendly discussion. That's it. So you can just open up. Anyone. You can pick any point and you can just share an example. I am expecting at least 2 or 3 responses.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm choosing third-party tool. So
Okay,
I'm
great.
giving an example.
Yeah.
So there is a person who suffering from cancer. So he need a blood. Okay. So another person is ready to give a blood, but he also has some fever. So while transmitting the blood transmission, so the fever may affect to the cancer person also. So
Yeah, great,
I
great. This
think
is
third
really
party.
a very good example. This is exactly what it is. I think you have understood it in a very good way. Yeah, exactly. So this is a real time, a normal scenario where you can compare with the third party tool. Yeah, great. Your name? I don't know who you.
Andrum.
Yeah, yeah, great, Chandru. Yeah. Anyone? Anybody except the third party tools? You can pick any other topic and you can just share me. No one? I'm not able to see whom. So I see many people. So Ashwini or anyone else?
Okay, let me give example for miscommunication, ma'am, or
So
no
who's this?
communication.
Who's this? Sorry.
Ashwini, ma'am.
Okay, Ashwini. Yeah, please. I was expecting from you. Yeah.
Okay. For example, we don't have, we didn't understand the requirements properly, means we can do mistakes. Like
Yes.
for example, if they if they have if they mention the username, password, age limit for login page,
Okay.
maybe developer maybe they didn't notice the table size or column size or age limit, you know. They will give like if they mention, if they ask for 18 to 50 age limit, if they misunderstood that uh, that
Okay.
one
Okay.
means it will create a problem, bugs.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. That is also a good example of miscommunication, and understanding the requirement also comes into picture over here. Yeah. Exactly.
Ma'am,
So yeah.
lack in coding experience. I
Yeah.
will give one example, ma'am.
Yeah. Sure. Your name, please.
Dharni, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
if one developer have good experience in Python,
Okay.
but we put the developer in the Java developing application,
Yeah.
then that is also a lack
Yeah,
of
sure,
coding
sure,
experience.
sure. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, now I think you people are like quite, uh, you have understood the concepts of what it is, right? So great. Thank you. Thank you, three of you. Okay, now we'll move on to the next topic. Okay. So this is also a very important topic. So this is SDLC. Yeah, as a software students, I guess most of you are from software background, like computer background. So yeah, it is like software development life cycle. So this is a very important thing because it is the main, it defines the process of how the software should be developed and what are all the steps and processes should be gone through for developing, testing and designing a software. So the main purpose of this is like to reduce the risk, and it also, its main objective is to like give a very good software to the end user. Okay, so now we'll come to the phases of the SDLC. So as I said, this is a process and it has got a step-by-step procedure for that. So the first one is requirement analysis, planning, and then comes the designing, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Okay, most of when you Google out most of the places, you can't see this maintenance phase on for SDLC, but maintenance is also an important phase of SDLC as compared to other things also. So now we'll see one by one. Okay, so requirement analysis. Okay, before going into what a requirement analysis is, I'll give you a small example. Okay, now I come to you. You are a baker. I come to you and I say, I want a cake to be baked for my birthday. So do you think my requirement is clear for you?
No, ma'am. You have to mention like
What is the
design.
color,
Yeah,
design, how
yeah,
much kg,
yes,
Yes.
exactly.
which day you want that,
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. Yeah, you, so when it comes to
Delivery
that, you,
date.
sorry, yeah,
Delivery date.
yes, exactly. You will be having lots of questions on mind. So you will take a cake as an example. So now I'm going to create, now I'm going to bake a cake. This is my project. Okay, so in this, now the requirement phase is a very important phase for the project to go on. So it is a fundamental and very, very important phase of that. Now, inputs from stakeholders, stakeholder means people who are directly or indirectly connected with the project or with the product is called as stakeholders. So here in this cake, if you take a cake, right, I am a stakeholder, you are a stakeholder, the person who is going to bake, he's going to be a stakeholder, the person who's going to like what to prepare the cream for it is a stakeholder, and the person who's going to deliver to the location is going to be a stakeholder. So who are all directly or indirectly connected with the product are called as stakeholders. So if it comes to software, customers, salespeople, industry experts, and programmers. Okay, so you should be getting inputs from each and every one of us to commit the project. Before you commit the project, say before, when I come and tell you, Ashwini, I want a cake, can you bake it? You should go, you should say yes, I can, but you should get input from everyone. So I say butterscotch cake about 10 kgs, and I want it to be delivered tomorrow evening 6 p.m, and I want a design of maybe like a tower cake. So if, okay, I think, okay, no problem, I'll send a new request. So in that case, you should go to your baker and you should ask him if he will be able to bake a cake of 10 kgs, and you should go to your delivery person and check with him if you have any deliveries the following date on the time period, and you should check with the person who is going to decorate it if he'll be able to do it in a tower way and all. You should have all the key aspects in your mind, and you should get inputs from everyone, and if it is fine with everybody, you should go and commit to me, yes, I'll be able to do it. Okay, so next coming performed by the senior member. So the senior member over here in this cake story is you. So you are going to collect the inputs from everybody, and you are going to accept, or you should acknowledge me, yes, with an yes. Now used to plan the basic project approach by knowing the strength and weakness of current approach. So now you will be like, now in your bakery you haven't yet delivered a tower cake of 10 kgs. Your minimum was 5, so your maximum was 5 or 6 kgs. So in that case, you should think of a new approach on how we are going to bake a cake of 10 kgs and how we are going to build a tower cake and deliver it on time without anything happen to that cake. So everything you need an approach for that. You'll be knowing the strength and weakness of each and every person in your bakery, and so you'll be also like knowing you should search for an approach to, like, maybe you can hire a new person who will be able to do it, or you can train the existing person with how to bake a 10 kg cake or how to build a tower cake. So everything will be like coming into this picture. It is to plan the basic project approach and defines the feasibility of the project. So this phase, obviously, is it feasible? Can I do it? Everything will be defined only in this requirement analysis phase. Okay, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, hope everyone are clear. So coming to the next, now, yes, you have accepted my what to say, my request. You are ready to uh, deliver me. And now what we want next is planning phase. How am I going to do it? How many resources I am going to, what kind of resources I am going to pull in? And while doing it, if I face any risk, how am I going to handle it? And how much cost is going to be determined for each and every effort of each person who's going to bake that cake. Okay, so in this case, now I put an estimate of maybe like around 5,000 for that cake, and I feel okay, I estimate it, I don't commit it, I estimate it, and I have determined that okay, this existing resource which I have, this baker is capable of baking a 10 kg. He says yes, I am able to, and you say yeah, okay, this fellow will be doing it, and this fellow will be decorating it as a tower. Okay, fine, everything is good and we are going to do it. But there are chances where this baker can fail, and where this what to say, this designer can also fail. So what you have to do is you have to plan. This risk plan is that stage where you have to identify the risks earlier in this planning phase, and you should also, like, what to say, think about what are all the alternate ways to handle if I come across this risk. These risks are not 100%. Yes, it's not that you will have, but what if I have? So these things needs to be planned in the planning phase of the SDLC. Okay, any doubts over here? Okay, fine. So now designing. So you have done, now your part is over. Now it goes to the designing department. So this designing department, here, this is where, okay, in software, how this is going to be done to get what is supposed to be. So how am I going to design it? As per the expectation from the user is actually decided in the design phase. So we have BRS. BRS is nothing but business requirement specification. This business requirement specification will be in the planning phase, okay, the earlier phase. So that business requirement specification will be converted into business design specification in your design phase. So with the requirement, you are going to design your what to say software, and you will be having a document for that. Okay, so now here in your bakery, you have a requirement. Yeah, I need a 10 kg tower cake. That's it. Now here, tower cake means what kind of tower cake? What is the design? And how am I going to do it? So we have my this design, and this it's going to be like built. I'm going to have a first layer, and then on top I'm going to have a second layer, and a third, and a fourth, and with us with these designs. So this will be put in the business design specification. Now this business design specification, once it is done, now what you will be doing it, you will bring the design to me. You'll say, see, this is the tower which we have designed. If it is fine for you, can you review it? And if you can, will you be able to give your feedback so that I can change or improvise the tower accordingly? So these things will be taken care in the design phase. Here, when it comes to software, you're going to convert the business requirement specification document to a design specification document, and you'll be reviewing that document, design specification document, with the stakeholders. And if the stakeholder give any feedback, you will be implementing it in the business design again, and you will be getting it approved from the stakeholders, and then you will be moving on to the next phase. Okay, any queries?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So next is the coding phase. So here, now, this is a very, very important, and this is the longest phase of SDLC. Okay, create what is intended to. So here only we are going to start baking the cake, and we are going to start doing the decoration, and we are going to do all types of things. Okay. Now what happens is like the actual development starts here. All the developers should adhere to the guidelines. There will be set of guidelines that the guidelines in the sense like in software you will be getting stories. Now we are in agile model. Okay, those things I'll explain in detail in later. So in those things we'll be having a time frame to complete each and every module. So these developers should adhere to those guidelines. Okay. And there are also coding practices. It is like, so you should have these many spaces for intended for the next line, and you should what to say, your variable should be in this case, your coding should be in this style. So there are lots and lots of instructions that will be given to the developers, and the developers should also practice this coding practice and coding styles, and they should be like what to say, they should be following it. And next is, a single developer can't do everything. So it is like the tasks, right? The features of the software will be splitted, and it will be given across the team, and the developers, each developer will start working on each module, and the task will be divided in this way. So now can anyone like tell me uh, what happens in our bakery for this? How can you compare this with your bakery? Anyone? No problem if it is wrong. Okay. No one? Okay, no issues. Yeah, please go ahead.
Tasks are divided to the cake baker,